A lot of people watched it, but nobody's watching day to day, all day, unless you're me and just love this stuff. Procedures are okay, but we want to know, where do you stand? And so I think the more that politicians stop trying to be politicians and be people, then that will engage voters. We reject alternative facts, so come on in here and let me educate you on the facts. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Daily Political Briefing. It's me, your host, QuentinRJiles, your political best friend, so you know that you have to call me Q. Thank you all so much for being here. I see you, Bree, and Miss Shamika, and Sabrina Nash, and Ivory, and Jessica G, and Jessica Hernandez, and Jay Single, all of you all down there in those comments. I see it. Come on, comment. Oh my gosh, thank you so much for being here, you all. Another jammed packed live tonight, episode tonight, if you will, because we have to talk. We have to talk about day 12 of the Derek Chauvin trial and the expert use of force expert that the defense brought in today, because that was just, baby, that was just terrible. That was just terrible. Like, I was like, what is this? But anyway, we're going to get into that. But, I like to just check in and see in the comments, how many of you all are watching the trial? Did you watch today? I'm always interested who's tapping all the way in, who's deciding to pop in every once and again, who's deciding to no, ma'am, Pam, I'm not watching that to begin with. Some people have been like, I'm gonna just wait on your updates, which is cool too, but you can always watch a trial, find out what's going on for yourself. But I'm always wondering, who watched it? Okay, I see not watching. Yes, I saw most of it. Okay, so we got a little mixed review right there, if you will, a little mixed review. Well, I watched it. I was dialed in. The defense recalled, the defense earlier in the day recalled one of the witnesses that the prosecution actually called to begin with, and it was a trainer who taught the police folk down there, medical interventions and things like that they will need for their job. So they recalled her, but that was not really, to me at least, all that significant. So we saw that, and we also saw Shawanda Hill. I think I called her Shawana earlier. Shawanda Hill, who was the woman who happened to be in the car with George Floyd the day that he lost his life. We saw that she testified. The defense. Oh, I'm getting tongue-tied. The defense called her to the stand, and there will be no Shawanda slander over here. Okay, there will be no Shawanda slander over here. Yes, the prosecution will try to manipulate what she said and manipulate her words and try to make a case based off of what she said. She did say that George Floyd was falling asleep while they were in the car, like right before, the cops came and knocked on the window. Yes, the defense will take it and spew it, but what we won't do is be like, she shouldn't have said this. No, she did exactly what she was supposed to do. She was supposed to tell the truth and let the facts lay where they bear. Okay, tell the truth and let the facts lay where they bear. She definitely, I would say, emotional in her own right. The word attitudinal came to mind, but those were emotions, and everybody else got a chance to express their emotions on the stand. That was her emotion. She seemed to be frustrated. She seemed to be as though she didn't want to be there, and so she's allowed. She's allowed to feel how she feels and presents how she presents. So she told the truth, and that's what it is. But there will be no Shawanda slander over here just because the defense is going to try to take that and manipulate it and make his case. We will not allow it. So that's that. We saw that. But the biggest thing, oh, child, let me get some water. Maybe I did that chest day today early in the gym. That's what's going on while I'm so thirsty and getting tongue-tied. Maybe that chest day was hot. But the biggest thing was really the defense calling their use of force witness, which was, oh my gosh, somebody commented on one of my posts and was like, that witness, it clearly shows why there are officers like Chauvin. That witness, that ex-cop, That shows you, because you could tell in his testimony, like even when the prosecution was asking him certain things, you didn't even look at certain things in regards to this case, and still tried to stick with the fact, or not the fact, but still tried to stick with your talking point that what Chauvin did was acceptable, even as you're walking through what use of force was. He said on that stand that wasn't use of force, as Chauvin's knee was still maintained on George Floyd's neck. He didn't even want to say it was on his neck. He kept calling it his upper back. Bruh, he was on his neck. Did at one point in this scuffle his leg move? Yes. But for, let's say, 98% of the video we didn't saw, he was on his neck. But it makes sense why officers, whoever said that, I don't know who said it, but shout out to them in my comments. It makes sense why officers like Chauvin are there. It's a perpetual thing. And clearly, we've learned that Chauvin himself is a police trainer, so he didn't probably trained up officers too to act like him too. What else did the witness say? That I was down there in my living room. I was in there stretching. I was like, what? Like he was just, I didn't allow him to trigger me. I didn't allow him to gaslight me, but he was exhausting me. Like I was exhausted. Like I had to get some Golden Gummy, because you know that Golden Gummy will help you with a little energy. Y'all see what I did there? That was a little segue. Get your, this ain't my open one. Anyway, get your Golden Gummies. Baby, get your Golden Gummies. Right now, they're doing 15% off. Let me go ahead and get you my affiliate link. They're doing 15% off with my promo code. Y'all know we got to keep it all the way 100. You know, it's an affiliate link. So when you buy, they definitely, send me a little commission check in the background. So we just want to be upfront about it. But go ahead and get your Golden Gummy, baby. They give you a little energy, all that other stuff, all health benefits, all that non-GMO, gluten-free, save the earth, clean air, clean water, go green, greenhouse gases, all that. They give very much climate change activism teas. That's what it gives. But yeah, like Buddy was really on the stand, trying so hard to not say that Chauvin did what we watched him do and somebody that was justifiable. I'm so glad that the prosecution really walked through his idea of what use of force was and really kind of caught him up in his own words as we walk through, especially in the part when he's like, okay, you're talking about resistance, you're talking about fighting back and all this other stuff. At the moment when George stopped moving, was that still a use of force? No, was that still a use of force? Up until the time the paramedic came to tap Chauvin and tell him to get off of George. And I'm glad that he pinpointed, even when they picked George up, he couldn't even support his neck. He was probably dead at that moment. At I hate to say at best, at a minimum, passed out. At worst, already dead. He couldn't even hold his neck up. He was out. So I was just like, child, this man can't make his $11,000 real quick. Baby, they made his $11,000 real quick and just got up on this stand and tried to gaslight all of Black and brown America and allies. Just tried to gaslight everybody who's believing their eyes. How about that? Everybody that is believing their eyes, because there's lots of room for other cases, and we can talk about those later. We all saw that video. We saw that video, and I still stand on, okay, yeah, I understand the use of force while George is not wanting to get in the car. I get that. Y'all are trying, at the time he's a suspect, you the cops, I get all that. I don't have a problem with it. When he stopped moving, when he stopped breathing, and you didn't check no pulse, and you kept your knee there for minutes later, you killed him. Definitely. Allegedly. You did. I'm trying to tell you, you did. T-Sipper said, Q, you're going to need to push harder with them goalie sponsors with the amount you eat. Can I tell you all something, though? They actually reached out to me to do like a side little something. I just sent them some work that I was kind of geeked about that. Thank you, Jesus. They actually did ask for some branded content for them. Not even for me, like they wanted me to create it and send it to them. So I just did that. I can share that with y'all because they didn't make me sign on non-disclosure about it. So, I got that national commercial coming out. I can't tell you what that is because I signed a non-disclosure for that. But to your point, T-Sipper, listen, Get your goalie gummies, baby. Get your goalie gummies, your ashwagandha and your apple cider vinegar. They're really good. 15% off on both right there. Yeah, use the promo code, affiliate link, all those things. So yeah, that's what we saw today, the shenanigans of it all. Tomorrow, we are expecting the defense to call more witnesses. I think we really don't know what type of witnesses, but expecting them to call more witnesses tomorrow. The judge initially said in the beginning of the week, Friday they may be off, so we could be looking at 2 more days of testimony from the defense's side, and then we'll get to jury deliberation. I kind of feel like at this point, like honestly, again, I'm kind of preparing myself for there to be either a not guilty verdict or a hung jury. I think what's more likely is a hung jury, not a not guilty. Not guilty suggests that all of the jurors, or not suggest, not guilty would be that all of the jurors voted not guilty. I don't see that. I mean, I'm opening up myself room for any possibility. I don't see that happening as much as I see the hung jury, which means everybody can agree that Derek Chauvin is guilty. But if one juror says not guilty, they can't agree. So it would be a hung jury. Derek Chauvin still goes home. I'm preparing myself for a hung jury type of situation. I'm not even gonna lie. I've just seen, even though the evidence to me is clear as day, I've seen this story one too many times. I've seen this play out with cops getting off. We got word today that the cop down there in Kenosha, Wisconsin, that shot Jacob Blake, remember, in his back 7 times, is going back to work. Like, there's no punishment for him. He's back on duty. Side note, I said something wrong last week that I needed to correct too. I told y'all that I was going to be caught up on the other 3 officers that's involved in the George Floyd death. Their trial is later this year, and then Kyle Rittenhouse's trial is in December. I said last week that Kyle Rittenhouse was during reactionary from the protests of George Floyd. That was incorrect, and I'm glad somebody pinpointed that out to me when they watched the show afterwards. Sometimes people don't catch the live, and they comment on the YouTube afterwards. That was actually incorrect. It was Kyle Rittenhouse was from the protest in Kenosha, Wisconsin, when the cop shot Jacob Blake in the back, who I just told y'all, we just found out that there is no consequences for him, and he's going back to work as of today. So, I just seen this story too many times, and my muscle memory is there to I'm just preparing myself for Derek Chauvin to go home. Now, I'm keeping every space available to be wrong. Maybe this time will be different. I just can't say that I'm holding out a whole bunch of hope for it. That's just where I'm at with it. Hentley Green, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you for all you do. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you. So, excuse me. Let me see. To your question, is Kyle in jail? No, he posted bond. A group posted bond for him. So, no. Yeah. Erica Hay says, God is moving mountains for you. Thank you, Lord. Oh, thank you, Jesus. Listen, trying to tell you, thank you so much. I appreciate that. I really, really do. So we'll I'm gonna keep my eyes out on it. I'll be dialed in. All things. Antonia says, I think there will be a hung jury too. Just prepare yourself. I look at it like this. I'm preparing myself for Derek Chauvin to go home, but in the likely event that he didn't, okay, cool. Because I'm starting here. Boom, up. But I was thinking about it earlier today too, to be quite honest. I kind of feel like, I don't know that I'm going to celebrate in the streets. Like, let's say he gets a guilty verdict. I don't know that I'm going to be in here doing backflips. Like, George Floyd is still dead. Somebody still lost their life in such a heinous way. You know what I'm saying? There are still going to be people walking around that think that you shouldn't have gone to jail if he goes, like if he gets the. So I actually thought about that today. I got kind of sad. Like, yes, it's the accountability and the justice, but it's like he's still dead. He's still dead. I'm saying it with a smile, but he's still dead. So anyway, so guys, that's it for today's daily political briefing. Thank you all so much for being here. Thank you for the super comments and stuff like that. Let me drop the link to the Goalie Gummies one more time. If you're learning stuff, if you're entertained, y'all know I told y'all I got to be a little more aggressive with raising funds because we got employees now. Y'all know I got 2 employees now. So, child. If you're learning something, you're having fun, please give to the CashApp, PayPal, Venmo, Zelle. It's scrolling across the bottom right now. For those that are going to listen to the audio on the podcast, I'll put it in the show notes. And here is the promo Gummies, QuentinRJiles, A.W. Hendricks Turner down on Facebook, reminding us to hit the like button. Yes, definitely hit that like button because it helps me with the algorithm for these social network platforms. It's telling the algorithm that this is something that's enjoyable and we should push it out to other people. So not only just me, but all of your other either content creators or news sources or things that you like, when you see it, the like button helps us a lot. It really, really does. So I love you all in the Lord, and Jesus says the same. I will be back tomorrow. I'll be back tomorrow, okay? So I'll see you then. A lot of people watched it, but nobody's watching day to day, all day, unless you're me and just love this stuff. Procedures are okay, but we want to know, where do you stand? And so I think the more that politicians stop trying to be politicians and be people, then that will engage voters. We reject alternative facts, so come on in here and let me educate you on the facts.